Okay, so part 3. What we're going to be doing today is taking apart and disassembling this lock. What I want to do is remove all the parts, clean up all of the internal parts here, and just clean off all the rust and everything, and make this into a smoother working lock. Okay, so I'm going to put the camera down and show you how to go about disassembling a 1778 flintlock. Stand by. Okay, so the first thing that we do when you take apart a lock is, well, this is what I do. I've got it right now in full cock position, and that way it'll compress the mainspring here. And then I have a mainspring vise that I will put on and then tighten it up, and then while it's tight, go ahead and release the hammer. It's really stiff. And I got to take that screw out. Hopefully that screw's not rusted in there. Doesn't look like it is. All the heads on these screws are kind of worn, but that's okay. It's an old lock. So there you go. There's the mainspring. I have to loosen it a little bit. Looks to be in pretty good shape. This is the screw that held the mainspring into the lock panel. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is remove this sear spring. That screw looks like it's coming out pretty easily. Spring looks to be in pretty good shape too. What I do, I put the screws back into the parts so I don't forget where they go. Now we're going to take apart this sear. There's a lot of rust on there. We're going to take this piece off. You can see here that the opening here is kind of worn out. I'm hoping that that's not going to be that big of an issue, but we'll see what happens. Oh, the rust is just dropping out of this thing. That's the bridle. And then we're going to take apart this hammer screw. And we put this clamp back on. Well, that thing just fell right off. Usually you got to pound this off, but it just came right off. Hopefully that won't be that big of an issue either, but we'll see. Well, that came right off. Usually you have to pound it out of here, but in this case I guess we didn't have to do that. Anyway, we're going to take this apart now. Take the frizzen off first. Those threads look a little stripped to me. Those interior threads look alright, I guess, but the screw's kind of stripped. And that's the prison spring. Okay, so this lock is now disassembled, and now I'm going to go about cleaning up these parts. Probably have to put a little bit more vinegar in here. But I'm going to let the parts sit for a couple hours just to let it soak in. And see how it does. Okay, all the parts are completely submerged, and we'll turn the camera back on after a few hours. Maybe I'll let this sit overnight just to make sure it gets all the rust off, and we'll see how it does. We'll be back in a few. Okay, so we're back, and I made another video before this one of me taking the parts out of the vinegar. And the sound was all messed up, and I ended up not uploading it because it was all messed up. So here's this video instead. But anyway, I've taken the parts out of the vinegar bath, and I wiped them down, and sprayed some WD-40 on them just to keep them from rusting. But anyway, you could see that the rust has all been removed, which is a good thing. This is the first time I ever used vinegar, just straight vinegar, to take away rust. And now I've got it in this PVC pipe here with a cap on the bottom. And I've got the barrel and the ramrod soaking in there. So we'll open this thing up tomorrow morning and see how that looks. Hopefully it'll do as good a job on the barrel as it did with the lock. Anyway, if not, I went out and bought some rust remover just in case it doesn't work and I need some heavier stuff. But I'm hoping that vinegar will work. I'm just using regular white vinegar for this, and at least as far as the lock is concerned, it looked like it took away all of the rust, or most of the rust. When I had it in the bath here, the vinegar turned from clear to really dark brown, so I know it was doing something. Anyway, I'm going to probably take a brass brush to this thing and shine this metal up so that it's bright, and hopefully it'll look good as new. Anyway, so that concludes for now part 3 of the Brown Bess reconstruction, as it were, and we'll be filming more videos shortly. Cashtook Bowcraft, thanks for watching.